Calaroga Shark Media.
Oh man, I am so happy because the comedians are hooking it up and fighting with each other. It's wonderful. Hello, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. I've got 2 days of comedian fights. We'll save the mega comedian Nate Bargatze stuff for tomorrow. Today we'll dive in on the office wars. But first, let me tell you about Trevor Noah. He had some thoughts about the World Cup and the President of the United States. Now, in the video that I'm sharing the audio of, if you hear clapping sounds, that's because Trevor Noah keeps clapping his hands. And it is worth noting that he was wearing a Team USA jersey during this clip. Here's Trevor Noah.
Americans were very quick and proud to say FIFA's a corrupt organization. They're corrupt. FIFA's corrupt. I'm glad FIFA's coming to America because finally they're going to be held accountable. Until they needed some of that corruption for themselves. Okay. Until Americans needed some of that corruption for themselves. Then now they're like, yeah, man, Balogun needs to play. Balogun, I'm glad Balogun's back because that was a red card. Yeah, until you need some of that. This happens. Welcome to the World Cup,
no, man.
people.
What do you mean this happens all the time?
Yo, it doesn't matter who you are. Welcome to the World Cup. I don't care who you are. I don't care what country you're from.
Yeah, but when this tournament started, I had my conspiracy theories.
My man, there were people who are anti-Trump. And then when this thing was happening, now for the first time, they're like, nah, but Trump did the right thing. Hey, this is government interference, guys.
Send your letters to Trevor Noah. I've noticed his World Cup live streams are getting around 250,000 views. Not a bad number at all. Over the weekend, it was July 4th, Dave Chappelle was on CNN with Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen. In the clip, Chappelle appears to be in front of a crowd, perhaps at a comedy show, but here's Dave Chappelle, edits for pacing and language.
Hey, Dave, you are so emblematic to the idea of the power of free speech. Tell me tonight, as we look at the 250th anniversary of this country, why you are proud to be an American and how do you view our country today?
Boy, that's a loaded question. Now I see why Trump gets mad at y'all all the time. Why would you ask me that? All right. No, I got an answer for that. I don't agree with everything that our government does, but the one thing that I really consistently believe and that I love about being an American is my countrymen. If I'm overseas or around the world, anytime I see an American over there, we just give each other the Fight Club look because we live in a madness that only we really understand what it's all about. And I have faith in my countrymen, no matter how crazy all of this will make it feel, that the sun will rise and that I feel like I'm part of a very incredible community. So God bless my countrymen and let us make this country absolutely great.
Now, the big story today, the big fight, is the Office. The UK Office guys are all fighting with each other. It had been 15 years since Mackenzie Crick and Martin Freeman had seen each other, but it is the 25th anniversary of The Office, or you may know it as The Office UK, and they have done a special for BBC. They share their memories of working and laughing alongside Ricky Gervais. We'll get to him, co-writer Stephen Merchant, and the other leading Office colleague, Lucy Davis, who played Dawn, who is the analog to Pam for you Americans. Among the anecdotes they tell us of how Martin Freeman initially auditioned to play Gareth, how Mackenzie embraced one of TV's worst ever haircuts, how Ricky came close to ruining filming on a daily basis, and what it was like to be at the heart of Office Mania when the show was at its peak. You will find Mackenzie Crick and Martin Freeman remember The Office on BBC Two and iPlayer today at 10 p.m. I assume that's UK time. They're 5 hours ahead of us. You do the math. Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant do not appear in the one-off show. Why not? Well, because Ricky Gervais is marking the 25th anniversary of The Office with a rundown of his favorite David Brent moments. Ricky is presenting each of the 25 moments on his YouTube channel and said there will be never-before-told stories. Here, let Ricky tell it to you. I have chopped this up for pacing.
I've made a special show to commemorate 25-year anniversary of The Office. Just me chatting about my memories of the show, my favourite bits, and a whole lot more. David Brent begging for his job back was the first bit of serious acting I'd ever done. I was the little fat bloke playing him. Let's be honest, Rick, you weren't wearing padding, were you? No. Watch it. It's free. So, yeah, you do the math.
Ricky's YouTube channel will feature plenty of David Brent. We'll also have other archive materials from his other shows, including Afterlife and his stand-up shows, alongside content made specifically for the channel. Ricky's YouTube channel already has Sunday evening live streams where Ricky takes audience questions. Topics have ranged from AI in comedy and creative inspiration to veganism. Ricky Gervais said, "I'm absolutely loving building my YouTube channel. It's the best way to interact with my wonderful fans without leaving the house and actually bumping into any of those weirdos." So if you think this thing where he's not on the BBC was about scheduling, I think differently. Martin Freeman said his recollection of making The Office is different than that of Ricky and Stephen Merchant. Gervais and Merchant have long said The Office was entirely scripted. Martin Freeman, who played Tim, says it was looser than they suggest. Freeman said he was left frustrated when a book of the show's scripts was released, filled with transcriptions of the lines that made it into the final episode, including his own improv. As part of the BBC Two special, Remember the Office, Crick told Freeman, "Another thing people always ask you is how much was improvised. Very little of it, because it was all there on the page." Freeman responded, "It was all there on the page. However, I think my true feeling about it is when it became the monster that it did because it sounded improvised." Understandably, Ricky and Steven went, "No, none of it is improvised. What slightly annoyed me at the time, but only slightly at the time, is that when scripts were published, they weren't the scripts. They were the transcriptions of what had been on telly, so that annoyed me a little bit because anyone who knows any of us knows the line came from you in that moment. The line came from me. It was loose, and that's to Ricky and Steven's credit because the scripts were absolutely brilliant. It wasn't improvised, but it was what I would call loose." Freeman argued he can understand why there's a little bit of protection about that, because otherwise people would have gone, "Hey, you just rock up and make it all up," which is clearly not the case. The writing on it was brilliant. You only need to know us a little bit or know the process of it to know we're also in there. It doesn't mean it's a co-credit. It doesn't mean it's improvised. It's nicely loose. So what does that mean? Either you read the words or you didn't. A statue of David Brent, that is Ricky's character on The Office UK, in case you're not familiar with that particular program, has been unveiled at the Premier Inn in Slough. Yes, the clay sculpture of David Brent was commissioned by Premier Inn. It is displayed at the Slough Trading Estate Hotel. The Premier Inn sits on the site of the old building used in the series' opening credits. Oh, that makes sense. The new installation was revealed by David Brent impersonator Tim Oliver, who recreated the stance alongside some of the character's distinctive dance routines. The bust took 120 hours to put together and weighs 7 kilograms. It will be permanently installed at the site. A spokesperson for the hotel chain told the Daily Star, "We're thrilled to unveil this brilliant tribute to mark its place in British comedy history. Ricky's iconic character truly put Slough on the map, and it's only fitting to honor him with this memorable statue, which we hope will be particularly popular with some of the millions of business travelers who stay with us each year. Whilst the building itself is totally transformed, our guests are more likely to be interested in pillows than photocopiers. Eagle-eyed fans will certainly spot the similarity in the footprint of the site." The spokesperson for the Premier Inn added, "From tech to business attire, office life has changed drastically in the 25 years since the show aired, but what hasn't changed is the need for business travelers to know what they're getting with a great night's sleep and a comfortable room ready to face the day, no matter how embarrassing their boss is." You know, I'm going to make a decision on the fly here. I've got 2 more office stories. Rainn Wilson called out Ricky Gervais. Let's save that for tomorrow, and I'm going to tell you a story about Kevin from The Office tomorrow, because we got to deal with Taylor Swift stuff. And by the way, this is way more news than I thought we were going to have coming out of July 4th. This is all wonderful. Thank you, comedians. George Stephanopoulos said Adam Sandler was funny and touching. And not only did Adam Sandler officiate the wedding of Taylor Swift, really, he also performed an original song that was humorous and touching and was all about their love. Ugh. Can you imagine? Sandler's been out and about. He was spotted at Sawyer's on the Pier, a place that serves homemade ice cream. That's right. There was a Facebook group from Sawyer's Daily Bar. They shared that Adam Sandler stopped in at Sawyer's on the Pier on July 4th for some ice cream. That was just a day after officiating Taylor Swift's wedding. The social media post highlighted a series of selfies, all taken by Sandler. And interestingly, this article calls Sandler the star of Uncut Gems. People are coming around to the way I think and recognizing him as a dramatic actor and, of course, a wedding officiator and not at all a comedian, because he's not good at comedy. But he's a good actor and apparently a solid person to have officiate your wedding if you ever wanted to have him. I'm sure he'll do it. The Uncut Gems star and a bunch of staff members from Sawyer's took selfies. We are told it looks like they were having a fun time. What a great article. Then on Sunday, which is July 5th, he was seen in Nantucket playing basketball at Bacchus Lane. According to the Nantucket Current, Adam Sandler called the police department's non-emergency line to ask where he could play basketball. Personnel directed him to Bacchus Lane Court, which is part of Nantucket Intermediate School. Imagine. Nantucket Police, how may I help you? Hi, this is Adam Sandler. Yes, Mr. Sandler, how can I help you? Yeah, do you guys have a basketball court? Dude, use the internet. Why are you bothering the police with this, even if it's the non-emergency line? Are you serious about this? Or is this a way that you have a more colorful story in the press? Is it that, Johnny Mac? Of course it's that, guys. We're told Andrew Kessler and his friends normally don't play outdoor basketball, but they coincidentally showed up at the park. Kessler told ESPN, "We see a car pull into the parking lot, and there's a guy wearing an interesting outfit." Initially, they joked that it was Adam Sandler. Once the person got closer, they realized it was indeed Adam Sandler. Kessler said, Adam Sandler has elite passing. He didn't miss a pass. They were all dimes. His layup game was good. I didn't really see him shoot the ball. He really is a good playmaker. You can tell that he's played a lot in his life. Meanwhile, Amy Schumer, who likes when we talk about her, wants you to know she was not invited to the wedding of Taylor Swift. Neither was I, Amy. Amy Schumer trolled the happy couple with several Instagram posts, including a spoof outfit for Thursday night's rehearsal dinner. Schumer joked on Friday morning, rehearsal dinner was sick. Who knows what she has planned for us? Then there was a second post, which also featured Life and Beth co-star Michael Cera. That one was captioned, "Okay, so why weren't we allowed in?" Apparently, Amy has been taking shots at Taylor for some time. Back in 2016, Amy Schumer took a shot at Taylor Swift's Grammy outfit, sharing a photo of herself and writing, "Taylor, that's not a thigh gap. This is a thigh gap." That got some backlash from the Swifties. Schumer responded, "I'm a comic and should never make fun of myself at the expense of anyone else that I wasn't making fun of in the first place. How about everybody takes a deep breath?" Schumer's rep had to step in and tell people Amy loves Taylor and was making a joke because she doesn't have a thigh gap. Again, I am so excited to have this much feisty content week of July 4th. No filler at all. When I was looking up the Trevor Noah numbers, I checked in on Ben Glebe. You know, he's got that late night show on YouTube of sorts. Good Night with Ben Glebe, episode 6, had 35,000 views at 11:19 on Tuesday. They did split out his monologue from episode 6. That had 388 views. John, did you say 388? I did. Meanwhile, competing YouTube late night show Outside Tonight, and that one is kind of more official, an episode that had posted 4 days ago has 8,700 views. That's not going to cut it. An isolated clip of Caleb here on Outside Tonight, and Caleb has a lot of internet followers. That clip has 417 views. Did you say 417, John? I did, 417. And a clip they pulled out from the show titled "We Found the Gayest Dog." How many views does that have, John? "We Found the Gayest Dog" has 59 views. Did you say 59? I did. Remember like a year ago, Madonna supposedly did some stand-up comedy? Well, not supposedly, she did. Will Arnett was speaking with Ramesh Ranganathan and told Ramesh how Madonna did 40 minutes of stand-up. He said, "We had a night where Madonna went up. Amy Schumer brought her. She said, Madonna's going to come." The audience went crazy. I think she did about 40 minutes. She had a binder and she was reading from it, but I got to say, it takes a lot of guts. Because, you know, Madonna's shy. An audience member said she did well enough, but the audience was so stunned it was Madonna that it took the entire set to warm up to her. She didn't do as well as you'd think she would. She got laughs every time she dropped F-bombs because just hearing Madonna curse is funny. She also nailed a joke about how with all these Trump deportations, she's not going to have any staff left, which got some laughs, but really, everyone was just so shocked that she was there. And that is your comedy news for today. You can follow the show on Spotify, turn notifications on so you never miss an episode. And please join us in the Facebook group. We have a really good community over there. Daily Comedy News Podcast Group. See you tomorrow.